So this has been kind of a long time coming. We've seen more and more companies, so namely MicroStrategy and Square, adding Bitcoin to their balance sheets as a way to diversify their portfolio out of cash. Of course, the thinking is that there's been a lot of fiat money, a lot of money that's controlled by governments printed over the last year. And at some point, this money is going to go down in value. And of course, as we know, Bitcoin, due to its limited supply, is designed to go up in value over time. So this, of course, is a logical step for any company, and it's good to see Tesla leading the way yet again.
So what's been driving its huge price increase over the past year? Because it was rising before we had these comments from Elon Musk.
Yeah, so even just in the last few months, we've seen a huge realization from institutional players, and especially on Wall Street, who are suddenly realizing, just as we've been saying for many years, that fiat currency is designed to go down, whereas Bitcoin is designed to go up. So there's only 21 million Bitcoin that will ever be produced, and now it's a race to see who's going to own them.
So we hear a lot about the Bitcoin bubble, don't we? Given the price has risen so high now, is it a true reflection of the value, or is this bubble about to burst?
So that's an interesting question, Robin, because unlike the stock markets or bonds or commodities or any other asset we've seen in human history, there's less of a foundation of how to actually evaluate Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. And the best we can really do to understand what the value should be is what the market is willing to pay for it. In March, during the pandemic, we saw, right as the pandemic hit last March, we saw all assets across the board take a huge hit. The stock market took tank, and Bitcoin went along with it. Bitcoin went under $4,000 per coin at the time. And since then, we've seen a huge rise in asset prices across the board, of course, the stock market, as well as Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, as people look to diversify themselves out of cash in order to improve their social standing. So from that $4,000, we've come up to about $40,000, almost $50,000 per coin today. So that's greater than 10 times the value in just under a year. But there really is the sky is the limit, because there isn't any kind of upward cap. I mean, we've heard, people predicting the price of Bitcoin, anywhere from $100,000, $400,000, $1 million within the next few years. So we really don't know where it's going to end up and what price levels it might touch in the middle.
So do you think Tesla buying in is something of a game changer for Bitcoin? Does this signify it might be becoming more mainstream?
Well, it's certainly good for Tesla, as we've been saying all along. I mean, it's been good for MicroStrategy and Square, the previous two companies. It is good for Bitcoin, as it gives it kind of a vote of confidence. It's going to make it a little bit more flexible in the eyes of global regulators and in the eyes of global corporations. The bigger question right now is, who is currently out there buying Bitcoin for their balance sheets and has not yet disclosed. And I think we've got a few guesses for those as well.